you're walking down the street, what are some things that you notice? Maybe you've noticed that there are people of all colors of skin, but maybe you haven't been paying attention. But now that you're thinking of skin color, take a moment to look at your own. There are probably a good number of people that share the same skin color as you. But on this great big earth, there are countless of shades ranging from super pale to super dark. But did you know it wasn't always like this? Yep, that's right. If you go back 50,000 years ago, you'd find that our ancestors lived in Africa and that they all had dark skin color. Africa is located by the equator, which is an imaginary line that goes through the middle of the earth. This area is saturated by the sun's UV rays. The sun's light is very important and good for us and all other organisms living on the earth. However, something very bad happens when us humans are exposed to too much of the sun's light. Let's take a closer look. There's this thing called melanin. Melanin is the pigment that gives skin and hair its color. So if you have little amounts of melanin, you will have lighter skin. And if you have a lot of melanin, you will have darker skin. Melanin is produced in the cells called melanocytes, which are a specific type of cells found in our skin. When we're exposed to too much sunlight, it can start to damage the DNA within the melanocytes. This is what we call sunburn. As your skin is burning, the DNA in our cells is being changed. If the burns are bad enough, the changes occurring to the DNA can lead to melanoma, which is a deadly skin cancer. In order to adapt to an environment where they were constantly exposed to so much sunlight, our ancestors began to produce more melanin. Melanin acts as a shield that protects the DNA in our cells from the sun's light. The amount of melanin in your skin will determine whether you are more or less protected from the sun. So as time passed, our ancestors who lived in Africa adapted to have a higher melanin production threshold, giving their skin a darker color. The extra melanin helped protect them from melanoma, making them more evolutionarily fit. So if all of our ancestors had dark skin, how do we have so many different skin colors now? Well, what happened was that some of our ancestors started to immigrate north, where they were exposed to less direct sunlight. These ancestors still had extra melanin that used to protect them from melanoma. So what could be the problem? Well, surprisingly, the extra melanin that once protected them from melanoma was now a problem. The melanin now shielded them too much from the sun, leading to vitamin D deficiency. Vitamin D strengthens our bones and lets us absorb vital minerals. Without proper amounts of vitamin D, humans would experience weakened bones and extreme fatigue. Because of this, our ancestors that immigrated to areas where they were exposed to less sunlight started to produce less melanin. The production of less melanin led to the lightening of skin. In short, skin color is determined by the amount of melanin your melanocytes produce. As a result of our ancestors' adaptations, the Earth is now full of people who vary greatly in skin color. So skin color is simply an adaptive trait, no more, no less.